So this is a piece that I'm featuring in the solo exhibit that I'm currently working on. The solo exhibit is called Rolling Stock, Graffiti and Rust. Do not have a venue or time at the moment, but it will be this summer in 2020 at least. Anyways, this is one of the pieces. This is a piece about a CSX locomotive and basically driving through the fumes of a graffiti spray can. All the pieces that I'm working on for the exhibit, I'm not presenting on social media before the show, so all of them, with the exception of this one, will be a surprise, and that's basically it. But this is on wood panel. Actually, it's not canvas, it's wood panel that an artist buddy of mine makes for me, custom makes for me in any size that I want, and I do a lot of my work nowadays on the wood panel. It holds up better than canvas, and it's easier to work on actually, and it's sturdy. But yeah, so that's one of the pieces for the show.
Now, are you a Train fan?
Yes, I am a very, very big Train fan. I got into the Train's studying graffiti, and then
Wait, what do you mean? You got into Trains by studying graffiti?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Well, so looking at trains, like the freight cars and stuff with the graffiti tags and throw ups and stuff on it, studying that and checking out that artwork, I actually fell in love with the trains themselves and started to grow a passion for the trains themselves. So it's a double passion, you know. You got the graffiti and you got the trains, and they kind of sort of have like a rich history together. So it's a double whammy.
Have you gotten into any of like the history of trains in Pennsylvania and the old train stations?
Yeah, I have. I'm learning like what trains run through the area, what locomotives run through the area, what companies there are, and things of that. What type of freight cars and rolling stock is the proper name. What type of trains carry that, and things of that nature. So yeah, I've been studying that and started getting into like model railroading and things like that. So
yeah, this is like a really cool area for that. There's a lot of different model railroad organizations around.
Yeah, there's the Western Pennsylvania Train Museum. There's the one down at the Carnegie Science Center. They have a display down there, a layout. Yeah, it's just something that like kind of just I fell in love with by default, you know. Studying something else and realized that I liked, you know, the trains. So
now, how long did it take to create this piece?
So this piece probably took about a week, steady working on it. So basically what I would do to create this piece, well, what I did to create this piece was I started off with spray paint in the background. And then once I painted the background, then the foreground is acrylic and paint marker. So I would trace out my design, then paint the entire thing white. That way it prevents the background from bleeding through. It's a secret of mine, but and then it also makes the paint, the color on top, brighter. But so that's a trick of the trade. And then you know, it's several layers. You know, you do your base layer, which is basically, I would compare it to like coloring in a coloring book or like a paint by number. You put down your blue and your yellow, very basic, and then you go back and you build onto that layer by layer. And then after I'm done with that, then I did the outline, the drip, and that's all done by, you know, overloading the paintbrush and gravity. And I can control the length of the drips by removing it from the easel and laying the painting flat, so it stops the gravitational pull on it. And then after that dried, I came back and filled it in with more spray paint to give it that effect that it's driving through the...
Okay, so like the spray paint over top of the train was added afterwards.
Correct.
Okay. So I was wondering, I'm thinking like that would have been really difficult to try
To paint around it,
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I had... This is one of those ideas that I had in my head. That came up in my head about thinking about how I was going to do this exhibit. And that this was one of the first ideas that I had in my head for it. And so this was all very, very much planned. Whereas a lot of my work sometimes isn't planned. I'm just kind of just going with it. But this was a very, very much planned piece. This is exactly what I was planning to do with it. So that's why I was able to do it piece by piece and then go back with the spray paint. It was just planned in my head that way. So
very cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.